Good evening. This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm coming with another live stream. Man, I just came from the gym, worked out, feeling good about myself, feeling better about the situation. This is my day back. Yesterday was my first day, and I had some motivation. My father, he pretty much told me it was time for me to get up, do what I needed to do, stop being down about things that I can't control, things that's happened, and to get moving. And I did just that. So I'm happy that I'm back in the gym. I'm still going through chiropractic physical therapy. So I'm working on getting better, and I understand that, you know, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It takes time. Uh, I just got to keep striving and take one foot in front of the other, one step, keep going, keep pushing. And I had to realize that I'm on a journey, and this isn't a sprint. It's more like a marathon, but I don't even want to call it a marathon. I want to just say that I'm on a journey. I'm hiking to get to my destination. And while I'm hiking to get to my destination, I'm going to make sure that I take time to enjoy the scenery, rest if I have to, not put too much on myself, and not compare myself to other people, because everybody is going through different things in their lives and everybody had their own struggles. So, with that being said, I want to get into the topic that I put in the subject line for this live stream. And what I want to talk about is that most of the time that you find yourself around people that mistreat you and abuse you and misuse you, the majority of the time it's your fault. And what do I mean by it's your fault? I mean that the people that you allow to treat you bad, you do a lot of stuff for them thinking that it's going to change the way that they feel about you, their attitudes. You go through and you jump through hoops to please people that no matter what you do, they never will be pleased by what it is that you do. They don't like anything about you. They don't care anything about you. They've shown you that numerous times, and you still try to overcompensate for that. And those people are still acting the same way towards you. They don't like you. They never will like you. And even if you reach the goal of being successful, 9 times out of 10, they still not going to respect you as a person. Now, I understand that this example that I'm going to give is kind of a bad example, but this is somebody that I've known. I'm from the Chicago area. And it was a person that I knew that knew R. Kelly. And this was back when R. Kelly was real big and real popular. And before all these allegations came out about him, and he had a lot of money and a lot of fame and status. And this person was like, he's still the lame. And we was watching him on TV. And I was like, but he got all the money and the status and the women and da 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 da. And this person was like, well, he's still a lame. And so what it showed me in my mind is that some people just have a negative perception of you, regardless of what it is that you do, how it is that you've overcome certain situations. No matter what you do, they always going to look at you negative. And these people, you can be friends with them for many, many years. Some are from childhood, some are from high school, whatever walk of life that you've had. And they still want to look at you the same way as what they did back when you were little. And they see the strides that you're making. And they want to continuously look at you like you're a low value person. And you know that you have fought real hard to get out of being low value. Now, I can talk about what it is that I went through a few years ago. And 2020, I can honestly say that I hit rock bottom to the low value status. And the reason why I say that I was low value at that time, because I found myself in a lot of debt. I was in a lot of physical pain. Um, A lot of people abandoned me. I found myself being very needy, of help and assistance. And it's certain things that it taught me. It taught me that I couldn't look at myself too high of myself, no matter where I was in life, that I have to remain humble as much as possible because I can go through a bad time at any time, and that character matters. And it took a lot of character and it took a lot of sacrifices to overcome what it was that I went through. And I know I talked about this in a few other videos, but I'm just reiterating the point that me doing the hard work and me doing the sacrifices, it took me from being a low value person to being an average person. And I'm working my way steadily going up and up. The more and more that I do these things, the more and more that I save, the more and more that I work out, the more and more that I express myself the way that I'm expressing myself online, the way that I am right now, the more that I don't allow negativity and negative people to be too close to me if I don't have to. Now, I worked a job doing security for 9 years and I hated that job. But at that time, when I was doing that job, it was nowhere else that was willing to hire me. So I had to deal with that job. And it was tough. I had to deal with people just belittling me, talking to me crazy. Some of the people above me, supervisors, managers, it didn't matter. They looked at me as though I didn't deserve even the paycheck that I was getting. And I had to accept that because wasn't anybody else trying to hire me and I needed that money. And sometimes we go through situations like that. Sometimes the most high allow us to go through situations like that, not to punish us, but when we get to that next level higher than that, we could be a lot more appreciative of what it is that we got because I had to work to get out of that situation. Some people that I've known from back then are still in that same situation, but I worked hard. I went back to school. I got the best grades that I could. I graduated sum cum laude, and right now I got a decent job. And I don't want to say where it is that I work, but I have a decent job. And I still went through a lot of struggles, a lot of pain, a lot of rejection before I got to this point. And I'm not saying that I'm finished growing and developing who it is that I am as a person. But I will say that going through that situation, it helped me to be able to be humble and appreciate where I am currently because I still have those memories of how bad it was back then. So, with that being said, I realized that if it ain't about getting money and being able to take care of myself, why am I allowing myself to be mistreated, to be insulted, to be degraded, to be talked down to by anybody? And it doesn't matter who it is. You see, I talked about being a part of organizations and religious groups and things of that nature. And I've had that experience of people trying to have a social hierarchy intact when it's not supposed to really be there. They lie and they say, "Oh no, everybody is equal," but in reality, it's not like that. You have to pay attention to the actions of others, regardless of what they say. People will lie to you straight in your face. This is what I'm explaining because I had to come to this realization when I became of age, when I became 38 and I hit rock bottom. I had to come to this reality that people are going to say whatever it is that they need to say to keep you gullible. Because honestly, if you allowing people to mistreat you and to misuse you, you are very gullible. And they will say that you're weak if you walk away from them. Yeah, they'll say that you're weak. But in reality, the person that's weak is the person that'll stay and take the abuse. Because that's what it is. And if you do not have any reason to take that abuse, if you're not making any money, if you're not developing any skills, if you're not progressing as an individual in a society that best suits you, not what anybody else think that you should do, but what suits you as a person, why allow yourself to go through that? Hmm? You see, I spent a lot of years trying to make friends of people that didn't want to make friends of me, trying to be cool with people that didn't want to be cool with me, trying to be in relationships with women that didn't want to be in relationships with me. And one thing that I've realized at this point is that it's nothing but a lot of waste time. However, I will say this, it's not totally wasted because I learned a valuable lesson that I can share with other people. I can share this valuable lesson that I learned, and it took me many years to learn. So I didn't lose. I learned. I learned a lot. I learned that if I do things to improve myself in my life, it can't be for anybody else. It's got to be for me 100% totally. And I can't overdo it. Just like I go to the gym and this is my second day back, I couldn't overdo it because if I overdo it, I'm going to hurt myself. Because when I go to the gym, it's not to get the bulging muscles, it's not to have that physique that the women like, it's so I can be healthy. That's the main thing that I got to focus on, especially now that I've hit the beginning of middle age. You see, people waste a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money to impress individuals that do not give a damn about you. You see, that's, people doing this is the reason why you have so many dysfunctional individuals out here. You have so many dysfunctional families out here. You have so many dysfunctional children out here. You see, we need to understand how to give reality to everybody so they don't fall into these traps and these snares that I'm describing in this video. You see, we have to develop everybody to where they can be wise enough to where they understand and pay attention to their environment. They pay attention to their surroundings. Now, let's just say this, like we talk about the passport brothers, and and oh, it's like this, and some of the people say that they're weak or they unintelligent or they lames or they dusty just because they get their passport and they travel. But what about this? How about it's a gentleman that used a lot of his time and a lot of his energy, a lot of his money to attract a certain woman, did everything that he could. I'm talking about everything that he could within his power to improve himself so he could be seen as and be deemed worthy. But after doing all that, it still wasn't good enough. What do you expect that man to do? Do you expect that man to just give up and be the type of person that everybody wants him to be? Or do you expect him to find a way to make himself happy and make his life better? You see, a lot of individuals look at men like me like I'm supposed to be a slave of some sorts. But the last I checked, we are in a free country where we have the freedom to think how we think, to live how we live, and do things in our lives the way that we want. And there's a lot of people that don't like that. They want that, and we see it happening right before our eyes where they're trying to strip away all of our rights and privileges. We see it. It's going on right now. A lot of people don't want to admit what's going on, and they don't want to see what's going on, but it's happening. It's happening right in front of our faces. The manosphere has exposed the hidden thoughts and the hidden agendas against men like me. And now that we woken up and we said, screw this, we gonna do things our way. And it doesn't matter if it fits what the community say, it fits what's best for us. We are seen as the enemy. You see, because we ain't gonna be the punching bags. We're not gonna be the stepping stones. We're not going to be the unappreciated stepdaddies. We're not going to be the ones that have to just settle and keep our nose to the ground and just feel like we're pathetic and miserable for the rest of our lives. No, we're not going to do that. Like, I'm like this. It's a lot of men out here that's saying it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if I never make it to that promised land. I'm still going to fight to get to that promised land. And even though I'm a small YouTuber up here, a small content creator, just me talking like this, somebody is seeing this and getting hope for the future, getting hope to be able to accomplish more than what everybody else around them say that they can't. And I'm saying, get away from those people that's always putting you down and always speaking negative to you. And you see, those people are going to call you negative for doing that. No, but you're looking out for the best for yourself. So you're not negative for you. You're positive for you. You're negative to them because you're not doing what it is that they want you to do. You see, that's the whole mind trick. That's the whole reverse psychology that's been going on. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit it. But it's time for it to come out. We see what's going on out here in the world. We see what's going on out here in society. And it's up to us within ourselves to make that change within us. I had to do a lot of self-reflection. I had to admit my flaws to myself. I had to see what it was that I was doing wrong. I had to make changes and adjustments to my life to where it could get just a little bit better. You see, and I'm doing a little bit at a time till one day when I wake up and I see what I've accomplished by looking back and saying, whoa, I did all that just by taking these little small steps to get to that big, huge step, to get to that goal, to get to that promised land. You see, I remember back in late 2020 when I first started listening to Dennis Spurling. I had no idea that I would be getting a passport, that I would be traveling different places. But guess what? I got my passport this year. I've been to the DR this year, and I plan on going someplace else in the beginning of next year. You see, all it takes is taking the proper steps, humbling yourself at first. You have to humble yourself. You have to do a lot of self-reflection. You have to look at what it is that you're not doing right, that you need to improve and change upon yourself to the best, so you can be the best version of yourself. And getting all those negative naysayers away from you is number one priority. You cannot accomplish anything when you keep those people around because they're going to keep on beating you down. They're going to keep oppressing you. They're going to get in your head. You see what I'm saying? They're going to tell you what it is that you can't do, and they're going to keep on beating it in you until you start believing it for yourself. That's why you got to get away from those people. They mean you no good. None whatsoever. But because they probably have a certain status or a certain image, or you see that they attracting the women that you probably like, or they seem like they doing much better than you in life, you never know what that person is going through, what demons that they facing, what failures that they had to go through in order to get to where they at. You see, we got to stop comparing ourselves to others. And one of the reasons why we can't let others go is because we're comparing ourselves to them. We, in our minds, those people that's putting us down, that's making us feel bad, it, like subliminally, we must be thinking that they're better than us. Because why would you take abuse from anybody that you don't have to? Why? Give me the reason of why you have to take abuse from people that you don't have to take it from. They not paying your bills. They not helping you out. They ain't doing nothing for you. And all the advice they give you is advice to make you look even more like a fool. You see, once you take control of your life, once you take control of your destiny, once you hold yourself accountable for what it is that you've done wrong and what it is that you need to improve on, you don't need those people. You never needed those people. And it doesn't matter who it is, it could be family. You don't need them if you know what it is that you need to do in order to improve your life. And if they're not going to be cheering you on, you need to do what it is that you need to do in order to make your life better. And this goes for anybody out here. You see, it took me trying to please others, trying to join groups, trying to join religious organizations for me to figure out what it is that I was doing wrong. You see, people could talk about, oh, you need to do this and do that in order to make friends and to do this and do that in order to be an influence. No, the first thing you need to do is work on yourself. The right people are going to come. And sometimes you're not going to have a lot of people. And it's okay. You don't need a lot of people. You're going to die alone anyway. So when people say this, oh, you're going to die alone if you don't do this and do that, so be it. You see, that's what humans don't want to just accept and they don't want to realize that it doesn't matter how much butt kissing, no matter how much sucking up, no matter how much being nice, no matter how much being generous you are. You can't buy your way into respect. Either you have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, you need to leave those people alone. Simple and plain as that. Leave them alone. It don't matter who it is. It don't matter what organization it is. And if somebody want to threaten you, you better keep a strap on you or something like that. And I'm not advocating violence, but I'm just saying protect yourself from these individuals if it gets to that point. But at the end of the day, all you need to do is just leave them alone. You don't have to talk bad about them because some of them aren't really bad people. They just don't understand the stupidity of what it is that they're doing. You see, so and sometimes they understand the stupidity of what they're doing, but they don't care. They like having that stupidity and that energy around them. But do you have to entertain that? That's something that you have to ask yourself. Do you have to entertain that stupidity that they want to put on you? Do you have to entertain the insults and the down talks that they want to put on you? And it doesn't matter what organization it is. It doesn't matter, and it could go for the whole community. It could go for the community as a whole. If the community don't respect you, why keep messing with that community? That's what a lot of these passport bros are starting to come to realize. If the community as a whole don't respect us, why should we care about the community? And I know it's a hard pill to swallow for some individuals because they like, oh, you shouldn't have that attitude. You know, they try to shame you and say real men wouldn't have that attitude. But at the end of the day, everybody wants some affection. Everybody wants some appreciation. And if we're not receiving that appreciation and that love that we need in our lives and that we have been giving to others for so many years, what do you expect us to do? Hmm? You expect us to just keep on taking the pain and the mistreatment and the abuse and to die early? I think not. Because just like everybody else is starting to get more intelligent, guess what? Men like me are starting to get more intelligent. You may have looked at us as being gullible, as being stupid, as being too nice. You think we haven't learned? You think that we haven't picked up on what's going on? What do you think red pill rage is? And most of us don't have children. So we don't have any responsibility to the community. So that means that we are not under anybody's control, which means that we don't have to take that abuse, which means that we can leave you alone. And that's all I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for people treating you with respect. Hey, sometimes I get goofy, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I get goofy, and some people have to tell me, "Hey, you being annoying," and I say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then that'll be it. But if it flips on the other side and they being annoying, and I'm saying, "Hey, can you stop that?" and they say, "No, we don't have to," that means they don't respect you, and that's the bottom line. And I understand that there are some people who knew me a few years ago, they never thought that I would get to this point of knowledge and understanding of not only myself, but of the realities around me because I've been so gullible for so many years. Because I honestly thought that if I just worked hard, if I just did everything for everybody, kissed up as much as I could, they can finally see the hard work that I do and respect me. And it doesn't work like that. You see, I had to start from ground zero in the year 2020. That was my ground zero, and I've been building myself up since then. And I'm doing damn good, even though I have a lot more to go from what it is that I did. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm not going to waste time on individuals that don't value me because if I did, that would make me a low value person. So, with that being said, this is just Bob Bowman. Have a nice evening. And before I go, thank you for all those that listen to the video. Thank you for the one person that's on here live listening to me. Thank you for the one like that I have currently. And I am encouraging those that stumble upon this video to please subscribe, share, and like the video. I love you guys. Have a nice evening. Good night.